The Evolution Quartet is now complete with the addition of the Legend Killer to Arena rankings. As a kid, I truly thought no one was more of a prototypical wrestler than Randy Orton. Cool white boy rock song from a ATTIRE band, cool nickname, chiseled from stone, disrespects the dead and the elderly. This dude had everything for little ZM. Today, I want to salute the man that revitalized the careers of both Mick Foley and The Undertaker in a one-year span, Randy Orton. We got 31 attires, let's go. Kicking us off at dead last is RNN era rookie Orton. This dude is so cooked. He better take his Abercrombie ass somewhere else. I never thought I'd look at Randy Orton and see an NPC. Like, get out of here with this shit, dog. Our runner-up for the worst Orton attire is the Masked Man. Remember this shit? Yeah, this storyline playing into Randy's shady military background was a little out of the box. It's just a shame that they didn't mention him going AWOL and getting court-martialed. At least we got the Viper and a Shiesty, I guess. More out-of-the-box entries for 29 as we get Ref Orton. This is a staple of main characters in the Road to WrestleMania stories. There's nothing much to say other than this serves no purpose in exhibition if I remember correctly, because there's no fucking special ref match selectable. What's the point? This is a huge cock tease. Our first ring gear is a bit of an oddball. Normally I shower Raw 2's attires with praise, and rightfully so, but this one blows. The monochrome colorway is lame, but that gets a pass because this is very early Randy Orton here. He was just finding this look. But there's not lining on the decals as you'd see in literally every other version of these trunks. So this is just a filled design with no back lettering. How dull. Well, you knew classic rookie Orton was coming. This poor little dude had no clue what the next 20 years had in store for him, but this colorway ain't bad. The yellow and blue works, the lettering is fine, the stripes and knee pad accents are good, it's just super jobber-esque. Thankfully, he'll improve on that shortly. And improve he did. The Shockwave trunks aren't for everyone, but I like this look. The front decal is a bit dull, but the back is much better. The blue and white ain't a bad combo either, this is just begging for more intricacy. I bet you didn't expect 2K25 so low though, huh? Yeah, this merch shirt blows. It looks so characterless, but the model is amazing though, Jesus Christ. The RKO lettering on these trunks is the true nail in the coffin for me though. That font is fucking horrible. The decent color combo doesn't really save this attire for me though, whatsoever. As if there wasn't enough reasons to dislike SBR09, it brought these boring and bland orange-ass trunk decals to the table, and that always rubbed me the wrong way. Coming off of 2 straight games with super meh red and white accents for Orton, I was hoping for something a bit more vibrant. This is just so lame to little ZM. I guess it fit his monotonous ring style at the time. This wasn't really living up to that menace mentality that so many people post about. We're jumping to 2K19 for 23, and this is a bit infuriating for me. The vest is very middle of the road, and it has a newer RKO font that's super ugly to me, but the back decal ain't horrible, it's just not memorable at all. The cherry on top of this shit sundae though is truly the recycled SVR05 trunks. Are we serious, y'all? Like, black and white, this late into his career, that's the best we could do? You know how many combos he's had by now? Keeping in tradition for 2K20 being a rough-ass game at 22, we've got another year of recycling the black and white SVR05 trunks. At the very least though, they've finally given this poor fucker a cool back decal on his vest. I guess that makes up for something, right? Number 21 is SVR05, and this is completely a nostalgia-based pick. I'm sorry. This specific game, with this weird Legend Killer babyface champion run for Orton, was my shit as a kid. I played the season mode with him, front to back, so many times, but I never liked how chubby his face looked in this game. They really dropped the ball there. The attire is nothing to write home about at all either. This is probably the 3rd time you've seen it in this list. I just have a lot of fond memories. Cracking our top 20, we got 2K24 up next, and these vest logos just keep shrinking year after year. At least the back decal ain't bad, but the trunks are an unfortunate homage to SVR09 though. Thankfully, the knee pads clean it up for me. I guess I prefer this over 09 for its general attention to detail and the overall complexity in the design. 2K18 has another fucking recycled SVR09 colorway, and I'm just over it at this point already. I think I prefer his vest over the last one from this game. It's not really high praise at all. Predator technology has hit the ranking at number 18, and man, this ain't a bad fit for a cover star. The mossy green colored accents are pretty nice to me, and they may look boring to y'all, but green is one of my favorite colors, so I dig it. We're taking a step back to SVR 2011, and the deep red lining color here is pretty nice. It's certainly not mind-blowing or anything, but I think this conveys Orton's anti-hero status at the time pretty well. SVR 07 just misses our top 15, and man, I did not care for this colorway as a kid because it replaced a much better one from the prior game that you'll see later in the list. But man, it's not all too bad. The red and white accent hues are befitting his character at the time. Like, there's nothing too crazy here, it's very middle of the road. Ironically, starting our top 15 is 2K15. I remember this model blowing my mind at the time, but the attire itself is whatever. The merge shirt is semi-memorable, but the trunks are admittedly kinda nice. The black base with the gray and white trim is super clean and cohesive. This fits the time pretty perfectly. Sure, it's not too flashy, but neither was he really. I don't hate this. 2K16 finally introduced the boxing wrist wraps and the elbow pads to Orton's fits. It was a welcome change for sure. I think all the skeletal snake designs on his merch were boring and derivative as fuck though, but all the gray line art decals on these trunks are a bit nice to me. Somebody just give this dude back the Legend Killer Tour shirt already. Now this is fucking insanity. Unleashed Orton is the dumbest, funnest thing that they ever made in 2K20. The snakeskin decals on the trunks are awesome, but part of me kinda sees it as see-through mesh like the Divas used to wear, and I'm just looking at his scaly ass through these decals. Either way, this model will be near the top in a model ranking. This is a wonderful concept. The entrance motion rules too. From literal snake person to Lex Luthor, we got SVR 2011's iconic GM suit. This goes very hard. All they needed to make this iconic was a black tie and a red undershirt. Ukes was cooking. He would have bodied this IRL. This dude looks like a criminal mastermind, and to be honest, he kinda was one. Just missing the top 10 is 2K14, and this is pivoting a bit from the prior game's babyface attire, which we'll get into later. I enjoy the deep blue lining quite a bit. It's super simplistic and it doesn't stand out all too much from the grand scheme of things, but it's nothing to genuinely dislike for me. I had no clue I'd enjoy a vest attire so much, but here we are. 2K22 starts the top 10, and the Legend Killer decal on the vest is pretty cute. I like the revised design on the trunks as well. The blue filler with the shiny black lining is super well done, and I just never realized how many times Randy Orton had blue gear, but it's kind of his definitive colorway if we're being honest. This next attire is smack in the middle of the Christian Killer era of Randy Orton when he was the top babyface of SmackDown. The baby blue trim here pretty subtly shows that he's the top babyface, and I always found that a cool little notion. There's nothing super grandiose about this, the colorway is just pretty nice and unique for him. Well, Mania 30 is a pretty underrated show in terms of attires to me. I mean, who could forget Naomi's eye patch? But no, man, this gold and white accented trunks design is a super subtle nod to Orton's world champion status, and it's a good, subdued Mania attire in all honesty. I like this one a lot. It's a shame that 31 was even better. The wrist wraps, elbow pads, and red trunks were a breath of fresh air at the time for me. The gray and black decals look super clean on this too. This isn't a super crazy colorway, but it's pretty unique. I mean, as a total package, this is just super memorable, and it holds a bit of nostalgia for me if I'm being honest. I had no clue 2K Battlegrounds would nearly crack the top 5, but here we are. The vest is a little bit lame in the front, but dear lord, those luminous green accent colors on the trunks are gorgeous. Y'all know I love a good green, and this rules. It's just a total bummer that the back decal of the vest is so corny. Dues paid is such a boomer ass slogan to wear on a shirt. At the time of release, seeing a new base color for Randy Orton's trunks was a dream for young ZM. We went 10 straight mainline games with black base trunks, and 2K17 broke the streak. Thank God. The gray mixed with the monochrome decals here look beyond clean. I really enjoyed this at the time and still have a lot of fondness for it today. No shitty modern merch shirt here makes this even better for me if I'm being honest. Number 4 is our 2K23 representative, and this was our introduction to unique knee pads in the series. The vest is super generic at this point, but the wrist wraps and wonderful snakeskin texture on the gear is just awesome. The red decals with white lining is like a crazy inverted SVR07 homage, and I really enjoyed that. They even introduced new back lettering, like this whole fit is a big change of pace for him. Our big 3 Randy Orton attires are upon us, and the bronze medal goes to WWE Mayhem's WrestleMania 37 attire. This attire might be the one good thing that came out of that god-fucking awful COVID fiend feud that he had with Alexa involved. R.I.P. Bray Wyatt though. This all-white gear with red and black accents is god mode modern Orton if I'm being honest. This dude truly locked in on his gear that night, if nothing else. The lettering is even totally inaccurate in this game, but I totally prefer it over the real deal. This looks wonderful. Our runner-up is shockingly the Armageddon 03 My Faction attire. I had no clue this was made into a game, like y'all know I don't touch the 2K games, but this is a legendary, genuinely important fit for him. The purple is so memorable and eye-catching, I just wish he didn't retire the color so soon. His subsequent Intercontinental title reign after winning the title in these trunks is a canon event for WWE if I ever saw one. I just wish that his slightly similar WrestleMania 21 trunks would make it into a game one day. But hands down, my favorite Randy Orton attire was never in doubt making this video. The SVR06 trunks are absolutely perfect to me. They're pulled from Unforgiven 2004, and while that show itself is a dumpster fire, this fit is generational. The cyan base is burned into my memory with the white and black accents. Add the golden rain pyro behind him, and you got a god tier Randy Orton appearance. When I think of him in video games to this very day, this is my first thought. I appreciate your time and support immensely. Chronicling evolution in this series has been quite a journey, and I'm glad to say we've come out the other side together. Who knew that Hunter's 4 Horsemen Jr. cosplay group would end up becoming one of the most significant modern wrestling factions in history? All 4 guys changed the landscape of the business for the better. Let's just hope the Triple Nose can pull his head out of his ass and stick the landing on this lame ass main roster creative lately. Take it easy, y'all.